stuck in the clouds. I'm on the wave. I'm on the wave. My vibration got too high. I got stuck in the clouds.
What's up, highly emotional friends and family? Welcome back to another episode of the Highly Emotional Podcast. Today, I have a special guest. I've been talking about him a lot on a lot of my episodes. If you've been into and you've been hearing me speak about how I had this epiphany to sit down with a Buddhist monk to understand meditation a little bit more, but not only that, to just expand my consciousness. And without further, prolonged energy or anything like that, welcome to the podcast, Thien.
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm so excited to have you here.
Yeah, thank you.
So how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Chilling a little bit.
I like when you talk like that.
Yeah, it's been busy, and you just find a little time to relax and then continue with the work or whatever we have.
So let's just jump straight into it. I always talk about how coming to the Buddhist temple, how our first interaction just was so powerful for me because you were open in how you received me. I still to this day, I don't know enough about Buddhism and the beliefs, but I would say what I watched and the way that I felt is that it was extremely powerful. But when I coming into it, it seemed like with Buddhism, it seems like it's more about going with the flow of the world and believing in yourself, right? Believing in just following the flow of the world. And that meditative state, when I've been around you, like just meditating, it made me feel so powerful, so charged. And so the first thing I want to ask is how did you know this was for you? Maybe tell me briefly how your life was before and then what got you to this point.
Yeah, thank you. That's a great question. I've been missing, sitting with you guys in Atlanta. That's a really auspicious, opportunity to have you and Sean, just maybe three of us, but I could feel the energy of our practice and how our cultivation, have been given a lot of fruition. So we've been talking a lot about the path of our practice, and mainly from the Buddhist perspective. So the word, as you know, the word Buddhism is originate from the word of the Buddha, right? Buddha is in old Indian Sanskrit word. It means awakened one, the one who completely know himself or herself, and no more suffering in his mind, totally awake. And I think around in the early 19th century, the scholars, they start to group, all the major religions in the world into one category, right? I think I mentioned this before to you guys in Atlanta. So they start to add ism, right, in the word Buddha. So it eventually it's become Buddhism. And it's nothing wrong with that. It's just label, it's just a name. And it's easy for everyone to understand anyway, right? But Buddhism is goes beyond the religious perspective. It takes you go beyond the dogma, the belief system, and basically it's helped you to return and know thyself, right? Know about yourself, and through understand yourself and understand how your mind works and so on. From there, you're able to generate this kind of loving kindness energy, compassion, and so on. All the positive energy. And this is a lifetime work. The practice. It's not just like instant noodle or microwave food, right?
Yeah.
Frozen food. But it has to come from the nurtureness, the incubation, basically. Like you work with your neurosis, your sufferings, your afflictions, and so on. Adversities, and from those qualities, you transform them into the positive energy, and you carry on that into your life, to your loved one, to the people outside of your circle, and so on. And that's how you can bring peace into the world.
So how were things before you chose Buddhism or became a monk? Like, what was the differences that you had to or the sacrifices or the things that you had to change to become who you are now?
Well, I was born as a Buddhist because my ancestors, they about 3-4 generations before me, they were Buddhists. So when you were born into a Buddhist family, basically you've been nurtured by all these rituals, sometimes beliefs as well, and eventually you have to find your way into real Buddhism, right? Where you're able to learn from the text and able to understand what the Buddha tried to teach you, and from there you take into your practice. So it's like a process, I think, and even up to now, I'm still in the work in progress. So it's not just you were born in a Buddhist family and that's it. You don't do anything about it. But you need to find your way around it. How your family being believed, in the Buddhist teaching, and how they carry out the practice, and so on. But you have to take it on it by yourself, and as an adventure, right? And you're gonna basically you're gonna walk on this path by yourself, and you're gonna learn how to find peace at first, right? How to deal with or encounter with all the adversities, and how you're gonna bring the energy back into yourself, that you're able to nurture the good seeds, and from there you're able to expand that that energy, loving kindness energy or compassion energy or whatnot, to have whoever you encounter with. So I think it's the WIP, work in progress all the time.
Absolutely.
So it's not going to be like a perfect situation. You have to go through a lot of bumpy roads before you're gonna able to experience the teaching.
So Okay, so with Buddhism, so I'm a very deep researcher of different beliefs and stuff like that. I kind of dib and dabble in all of them because I think that there's something to learn in every belief. But then I always hear this thing about how Buddhism isn't really a religion because you guys don't worship anything technically. And also, it's more of a lifestyle. It's more of a way to live, kind of like someone who is following some type of journey, like I didn't want to say like vegetarians or vegans or anything, but like to be a true like vegan, you can't really do it as like a temporary meal replacement or meal plan. It kind of has to become your lifestyle. But like based upon what I've seen with Buddhism, it's not more about worshiping something outside of yourself, but it's more about you trusting yourself, and it's not about worshiping any deity or anything like that. So it like, is that true? Is that
Well, actually, if you dive in depth, into Buddhism, you're gonna see very unique, very unique practice from different traditions. So we have the traditional tradition or foundational Buddhism, and then we have the developmental or northern Buddhism, when the Buddhism spread, throughout the northern India, right? And the other one I mentioned early, foundational Buddhism, basically is spread downward, toward Southeast Asia, right? And later on, we have another sect, it's called or tradition we call the Vajrayana, right? So it's more like toward the Tibetan Buddhism, right? So when Buddhism goes into different culture or different countries, it's blending. You see what I'm saying? It's blending in their cultures, and it doesn't try to change the existing religions, but it blends in and it brings in a lot of righteousness teaching or right view, right? Like the eight fold path, a noble fold path. It is the right view, right? The right understanding. And basically, when Buddhism is blending into the new culture, and it tries to nurture this homeland, right? Religion, and it tried to grow the seed, the good seed, out of it. So as you can see, in the Tibetan Buddhism, you're gonna see a lot of deities.
yeah,
And Buddhism, let's try and go into Tibetan Buddhism and get rid of all this, worshiping the deities and all that, right? But it still, allow whatever the existing culture there, but it is planting, whatever the seed in the teachings and whatnot. So Buddhism goes. Let's go to Tibetan, right? The worshippers, they continue to worship whatever deities they worship before, right?
yeah,
But in the meantime, the good teaching start to kick in slowly, to change the way they see the about themselves and the whole world. So when we speak about there's no worshiping deities, I don't think that's correct statement. But I think depends on which tradition we're talking about.
So it depends on the area in which Buddhism pretty much spread it at the time.
Yeah. So there are still, some teachings relies on this belief, system. So it's a skillful means. You understand the word skillful means? It's basically help you in a convenient way, so that you're able to slowly get into the door of Buddhism. So they, like I said earlier, Buddhism, the Buddha, originally, he said that he wouldn't worship any deities or gods or anything like that, but go directly into our suffering, right, and work with our pain,
our trauma.
Yeah, our trauma. So that way you're gonna solve it by yourself, but you're not, like asking for the blessings, and the next day, your trauma is go away, right?
Yeah, because in a sense, like you're expecting that Buddha can bless you, but yet you still continue to accept these traumas and live this type of life. Got you.
So the Buddha's method is want us to go directly into our trauma and work with our suffering, right? But not rely on, like asking for or praying, asking for the blessing, asking for the miracles, asking for supernatural beings, to try to rescue us or get us out of the trouble and so on. But for some, traditions, they even go lower, level, right? So that they can help the folks that they don't really have a really deep understand the true teaching of the Buddha, right?
Yeah.
So that's what is the skillful mean. The skillful means it try to help people in a lower realms or lower level of understanding, right? With the beliefs, with the miracles, but eventually the spiritual leaders, let's say in that traditional in that tradition or in that temple, they need to advance those followers, right? Take them out of that skillful means, or take them out of the
lower realm,
lower basics level, and take them, move them up further, right, close to the true teaching.
Yeah.
So that's why you can see different traditions. They have a different skillful means to help people slowly get into the door, and then from there they can move up.
So move up to another level. So
yeah, move up to another level.
So I remember you explaining to me the different Buddha, I guess, statues or figures that you all had at the Buddhist temple. And I remember you were telling me like the bigger Buddha represents kind of like the completion of the journey in a sense. And then the skinnier Buddha is more like is the Buddha that goes down to like the hell realm to kind of like help the people get out of the hell realm. So in a sense, like the way that I received it in my head when you said it is that when that Buddha goes down to the hell realm, basically it helps the people find enlightenment to graduate from the hell realm to pretty much raise their I would say their energy, their vibration, or maybe their spirit in a better place, right? So, like, can you tell me more about like the difference of those Buddhas, or because I heard there were more than two. There's like a lot.
Yeah, when we are talking about different Buddhist iconographies, right, or image. We're gonna see a lot of different images, and I want to show you a few pictures of different image that might be. You think we can share the screen?
Yeah, it says share screen at the bottom.
Can I share the screen?
Yeah, it says it.
So basically, I don't have.
There we go.
I don't have. I can look it up for you, but the one.
Okay. Yeah.
That you just mentioned. Usually, in our Western culture, we usually call him chubby Buddha or fat Buddha, right?
Fat Buddha.
Yeah, fat Buddha.
Oh, fat Buddha, chubby Buddha. Okay, got you.
Yeah, so maybe this is the one. I think it close to.
Can you just type in pictures instead of figures so we could? Okay, that works too. Do you feel like pictures are better, or it doesn't not matter, figure or picture?
I think picture is better. So this is the future Buddha, and ignore the.
Yeah, I was gonna say just type in chubby Buddha in it in images instead of the statue. Go back. Chubby Buddha. Yeah, fat Buddha.
Oh, we call lucky Buddha.
Okay.
So
all right, there we go.
So usually this is the image that we see when you go to especially when you go to the the Mahayana Buddhist temple. Okay. You're gonna see this image around the temple, and so this is the Buddhist iconography, right? It's a representation.
Yeah, I have a necklace with that Buddha on it.
Yeah, so people they think if they wear this Buddha or if they worship this Buddha, he might bless you. So this is another skillful means. See what I'm saying? So this is another skillful mean. Skillful mean teaching.
A skillful mean. So in a sense, they tell you this stuff about Buddha so that you would learn about Buddhism, basically, is what you're saying.
Yeah. At first, people may use this image to as an invitation for basic followers, right?
Yeah.
If you worship this Buddha, you might get lucky. He might bless you with health and prosperity, right? But eventually, if you go deep into the teaching, eventually you're not gonna do the same thing. You're gonna learn him as a quality. As a quality of characteristic that you might have as well. So as you can see, this belly, this fat belly. So it's a representation for your mind that is empty of distinction. It's lack of it doesn't have any discriminated, right?
So in a sense, like trauma.
Yeah, it's purified. It's vast with openness, right? With the open mindedness, so you can contain all the adversities. When people they throw tantrum at you, but you still laughing. You see him. You see all his face.
Yeah,
he's all laughing, right?
So he doesn't need anything outside of him. He's full of, not saying like full of himself, but he's full of life, full of.
Yeah, he's really he can go beyond, right? So it doesn't matter. People they throw him a lot of trauma, and he's still laughing. He's still able to carry on his life.
Gotcha.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So this is basically a lot of meaning, a lot of meanings through image, right? So we have to have the image to understand the teaching. You see what I'm saying? So every tradition, every religion, basically they have a lot of image.
Yeah.
To represent the teachings. So
can you pull up the other Buddha, the one that you had showed me? I think that one was cooler. I don't know why. I just thought it was cool.
So as you know, this is the
one with the waves or the fire underneath his legs or something like that. Are we talking about the same one?
No, this is not the same one. So the other Buddha I mentioned before is his name is he's a Bodhisattva, right? Kusagaba. So this is the image you maybe see at the temple.
Yeah. Oh, that one. It's kind of like that one that's where he's standing up over there to the right.
Yeah. So this is the one we call the Bodhisattva Earth Store. So basically, this Bodhisattva has a vow. He is willing to go into the hell realm to rescue, sentient beings, to rescue all the suffering beings in the underworld.
It says we got 10 minutes, and then we're gonna just reconnect the call and do it again.
Okay. So it's just like in Dante's, Inferno.
Yeah.
So this is almost the same thing. And he traveled to underworld to rescue all the suffering beings out there.
What is he giving them?
So probably he given him some kind of love energy, love kindness energy, compassion. So this is like the character that we also have, right? So when we've been down into the darkness, and there's somehow in us we have this kind of energy to take us out, right, from the darkness or from the underworld. So this is a representation of the quality of able to transcend your suffering.
Yeah.
And you're able to go above again, right? Sometimes in our life, right, we maybe get deep down into the underworld, into our darkness, our own darkness. You see what I'm saying? So this is a bodhisattva, the quality that you're able to tap into, and you can use this energy to go above and beyond again.
Gotcha.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's a journey for us as well. It's not just for him, right? But also for ourselves. Sometimes we go through the underworld journey. You got it?
Yeah, so we go through a lower realm. Yeah, I always talk about that. I'm like, yo, and you got to realize that, like, me telling people about this type of Buddha, like, I'm like, yo, bro, there's this cool Buddha. I'm not talking about the chubby Buddha. I'm talking about the Buddha that, he goes down to the hell realm and he helps you find, like, I think that's dope because when I started thinking about, like, my life, a lot of times, like, on this journey of enlightenment where I'm at in my life, I can explain to people, like, where I'm at, like, what meditation does to me, right? But unfortunately, I can't show them my experience. I can't show them how it truly feels. They only can experience it themselves. So a lot of times when I look at this situation, I know a lot of people who are like mentally stuck in the hell realm. And a lot of times they'll say that they want help. But unfortunately, there's nothing I can do except for follow my truth, like follow my journey and live righteousness or live, in a sense of great gratitude or enlightenment. And I can only show them by leading by example, but me trying to tell them what to do, it never works because it's me trying to explain my experience it when they have to, or my experience when they have to experience it truly themselves. So a lot of times, like when I seen that Buddha, I was like, I think this is cool because I feel like I can relate to it a lot. So
yeah, so you are your own Buddha, right? You are your own Bodhisattva. Basically, you the one who put yourself, into the underworld, and you also the one who gonna take yourself out of it. No one else, right? When you create something, whether it is good things or bad things, you are the author, right? You are the author of that product. So basically, this is more like a teaching from the Mahayana Buddhist tradition, right?
Yeah.
And this is a Bodhisattva, like I mentioned earlier, Kusagava. So his vow is basically go into the underworld and rescue all sentient beings, right? Until no more sentient being gets stuck in there, then he become a Buddha.
Gotcha.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So this is basically, you are your own therapist. You are your own psychiatrist.
Yeah.
You are your own doctor. And you know yourself the best, right? So from there, you're able to tap into this quality and work with it. You see what I'm saying? So you work until...
I was going to say, but is it the only way that you can tap into it is truly going through yourself?
Well, there's no other ways. You can try other skillful way, but eventually you have to deal with your own neurosis.
So no matter what,
right? Yeah, it doesn't matter what other remedies. Eventually, you have to face just your own your own self.
So are you saying it doesn't matter what you, in a sense, it doesn't matter what you pray to, worship. At the end of the day, you're gonna have to address your BS, address your trauma, address everything that you're dealing with yourself. Because at the end of the day, nobody can truly save you from your trauma except for you. You have to heal yourself from it.
Yeah, basically, you are the one who saved yourself at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Right. So it doesn't matter how many good therapists you go to. Doesn't matter. Right. At the end of the day, you know your own package. You own your own garbage. Right.
Yeah.
So you work with that. And are you willing to let go? Right. Are you willing to let go of your trauma?
You have to be
willing. Are you willing to be free again?
Yeah.
Right? So whether you want to be free or you want to be your own, prisoners, then that's your choice. You see what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
If you want to be free, you need to let go, right? Even when people they got into really worse trauma. And at the end of the day, they need to accept it and moving forward, right? Because that wound, it getting worse if we just keep penetrating into hitting it, right? If you get really bad wound and you keep damage it and you don't let it heal, you don't let go of it, then it getting worse, right?
Yeah.
And so at the end of the day, you need to ask your question, will I have enough willpower to let this go, right?
Mm.
And move beyond, right? Move on from it. And I know this, easy said and done. I know that. I get it,
Facts.
right? But I mean, if you want to heal quicker or you want to drag on for, for years and years and decades, and by the end, your life is almost over. You age, you get age, you get no more physical and no more mental strength to continue, with your life, right? So I just saw this video clip today between the incident between this.
You got to send it to me, so I could. You got to send it to me so I could put it up.
Yeah, the red fox get trapped by the rusty trap. And
hold on. Let's pause because it's gonna cut you off. Let me end it and then I'll call you back. All right, there we go. My fault.
No problem.
I forgot what you were about to say. What were you about to say?
I was saying that there is a video clip.
Oh yeah.
Actually, it's an animation video clip. Is very powerful. Between this, basically, it happens. Maybe I can open this video clip and I see
if you can open it.
Yeah, if I can share this, then then tell the story about myself. Yeah, I found it. So let me move to the new window and let me open it. See if I can.
I'd kill you. If you stay in that snare, you'll die.
Are you sharing your screen?
I'm gonna replay. I have this video clip on my Facebook.
Hold on. It's starting. Hold on.
It's so well.
Yeah, I think it might be blocked out.
Wonderful.
Oh, there it goes. Okay.
Greatest treatment is how we react to things. If I wasn't caught in this snare, I'd kill you. If you stay in that snare, you'll die. You did so well. Wonderful. Greatest treatment is how we react to things.
You got the message?
Yeah.
You got a message, right?
Yeah.
If I wasn't caught.
Yeah, so in order for us to get out of the trauma, you need to accept, right? You need to move on. You need to work with it, and so on. Because if you keep the trauma going all the time, right? And that's how you're gonna end up here. You're gonna die by get trapped in that storyline.
So basically accepting basically allowing your trauma to become your identity.
Basically I would say not your own identity, but you recognize that. You recognize that you recognize that you have this experience, and you're gonna ask yourself, what does this experience try to teach me?
Yeah, what is this? This is a lesson.
Yeah, what
Instead of identifying. So that's what I'm saying. So instead of identifying as the situation, instead of saying like I'm the victim, but basically instead change the way that you view it and say, okay, in this situation of trauma, right? What do I need to learn to prevent it from happening in the future? Correct?
Yes, basically it is one way to think of it. And as you know, life is a lesson, right? Life is ongoing lessons.
Yes.
And if we're not able to pass one lesson, then it's going to be hard for us to move on, right?
Facts.
To continue with the new subject. So that's how we, like been saying this. We are our own making, right? Our own create all the chapters in our life.
Yeah.
And if we're able to, understand this, we're able to continue with a new chapter. But in order for move on to a new chapter, you need to let go of the previous chapter, right? To work with something that we always face, with the adversities all the time.
So what is the? How can I say this? So do you feel that people on the outside who really don't know a lot about Buddhism can learn from it, even if they don't accept Buddhism as their religion?
Oh, definitely.
What do you feel are a couple like principles or a couple like things that you can take from the Buddhism philosophy or the Buddhism belief and apply it to someone who may not be ready to jump directly into Buddhism?
So look at this way. I think as human beings, right, we all experience suffering. And Buddhism is just one of, the ways that help you to alleviate the suffering, right? So we're not saying that, we are the supreme one, we are the best, right, in the world and so on. But basically, we just, have this kind of approach that just come and see. Just try to come and see what is that like.
Yeah.
Just like, when we go out there and we want to buy a car, right? And you need to go to different, car dealership, right? We're gonna go to Toyota, and then we go to Chevrolet and Nissan and so on, right? To try out different, vehicle and see which one you feel comfortable with, right? And the vehicle here is, it's gonna help you to do a lot of work, right? To carry out, your daily activities. So all vehicles, purpose is carry you from point A to point B, right? So no exception for Buddhism. So Buddhism is, you can apply it as the beginners, the very basic, very intermediate level. You can use this as something that you can lean on as a believer, right? Or you've been brought up into the belief system. Now you can lean on it and you can see, oh, okay, this is just a skillful door or skillful means, right?
Yeah.
To help you to feel familiar with. But eventually you need to move up, right? Move out of that comfort zone. The problem is we rely on too much into the belief system, and you feel comfortable with it. You feel like you stay in that bubble and you don't want to get out. But the worst of humans, addiction is a comfort zone, right?
Yeah.
We love comfort zone by any chance, by any way, right? So when you're able to step out of your comfort zone, that means you step out of your old habits, right? And when you step out of your old habits, you're able to open many doors. The doors here is it is literally represent the knowledge, the understanding. You step out of your own tradition, and you're gonna see, you can do your comparative studies. You can do a lot of scholarly practice, right? To understand what Buddhism offers you, right? And then from then you're able to, you don't have to change your religion. You don't have to change. You don't have to become a Buddhist, but you can use, what let's say, if Buddhism can offer you something that you can apply, more like practical, way, then you can take on it and you can practice it as long as you basically have the well of health mentally and physically, right?
Gotcha.
So that is the point. But we're not trying to gain more followers. We're not trying to profit, make more money out, the followers and so on. So that is something that in Buddhism, we really want to limit it. Okay, limit that role. Of course, we're gonna need the followers to support us, right? Donation, so we can continue to carry on the work. But we're not trying to do like commercially way of influence, followers coming.
Yeah, it's not about that.
And we don't teach anything, right?
Yeah.
Or we invite them to our congregation, and we don't, basically show them how they can cure their own, wound, right? Their own trauma. So that's fit the purpose of the temple's purpose, right? When you come to the church or whatever, the temple, that's where we able to help ourselves heal, right? Heal from all the traumas, heal from all the suffering in life, release all the burdens, right? But not carry more on, onto our shoulders and go home, and then we continue to make our loved ones suffering.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. So with being a monk, what are three simple values that you have, like being a monk, things that you follow for yourself that help maintain your consciousness, maintain your quality of life, like that higher level of understanding and understanding or feeling? Like, can you give me three things that maybe I can use, like three bullet points that I can use and try to apply to my life that will help me maintain, as if like I read this book called The Monk Mode, where they talked about stripping away, like, television for a while, stripping away your phone and sitting with yourself and sitting by yourself. And so that was a couple things that it touched on. But far as like, you Thien, like, what are 3 things that you can give me that maybe I can apply to my life that will constantly keep me at a high vibrational or good energy state?
So, from my own experience, I think the first foremost, I think we should practice the contentment, right? How we able to limit our desire, right? Because as we live in this worldly life, there's so much, attraction. It can satisfy our desires. So the more we have in our desire, or the more, basically, in another word, the more you want, the more you gonna get suffering. You see what I'm saying? Because when you're not able to satisfy this this desire, then you're gonna find different way, to sanctify it, right? To make it satisfied, happy, right?
Yeah.
So the contentment is I think it's a very important vital element in our practice, and go along with that. You have to have the right view. The right view here is come from our awareness, right? Our mindfulness practice that we had at the Atlanta temple.
Yeah.
So the first one is contentment, right? And the second one is how to apply this mindfulness or awareness. That's a very basic, but it's sometimes it's really difficult too. It's not just 1 day or 2 day or 7 day practice is gonna make you perfect, right?
Yeah.
So it takes maybe your whole life to practice. And the third one, I think, is you should have the open-mindedness, right? When your mind is open, then you able to see is that panoramic?
Panoramic or
panoramic view.
Yeah.
You can see that the dimension is vaster, right?
The vastness of it.
Yeah. But if you have a closed mind, you can only see this, right?
Yeah, tunnel vision.
Yeah, you have a very limited vision. Sorry. So approach to whatever in life with easy, open mindedness, right? And from there you're able to learn, right? You're able to adapt to certain things, adapt to certain culture, adapt to certain things in life, and you're able to see that your mind is very vast, right? You can learn a lot of things from different people all the time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but if you have a tunnel vision, right, you're not able to learn a lot. So those are the 3 you can, practice day in and day out all the time.
Can you can you I know because I've done it with you, but can you give us a description of practicing an example of practicing that mindfulness just for the people? Like what would you say a way is to practice your mindfulness?
Okay, so basically, when we're talking about mindfulness, actually it's free. It's free to every human being, every religion, right? So mindfulness it's just not belonging to Buddhism. It's free to everyone, right?
Yeah.
And as you can see, like baseball players, the batters, right? When he at bat, right? Well, he doesn't practice mindfulness, but it is mindfulness, right? He's really focused, and waiting for the ball to come. And if his, concentration is really high, right? And his instinctual reaction is also really high. Of course, with the eyesight really, really good too, right? And then he just stay focused, just really stay focused and just wait for the ball, right? And, if you ask all the best hitters, or batters in baseball, they practice, concentration. They totally zoom in, get the ball, right?
Yeah.
And they completely, block out all the noise, all the surrounding, but completely focus on that ball. When it's calm, with the good sight, and then he's just gonna swing it, right? And doesn't matter what result of that ball, where that ball goes, I don't know, but at least his bat, contact the baseball. So that is the practice of mindfulness. So, and you can see the animals, they also practice mindfulness too, but they don't say that they practice mindfulness. So let's say this frog, right? In order to, to feed himself, right? He really practice this concentration all the time. Sit really still, right? And not even move a little bit.
Yeah.
Right? And he just wait, for that flyer to cross by. And he just, extend his tongue, right? You can catch it that easily.
Yeah.
Right? So the frogs, the baseball players, musicians, you name it. They all practice this.
That's true.
But they don't know. Right? And sometimes we do too, right? Sometimes we do practice, quote and unquote, mindfulness in something with our addiction, right? Let's say we nowadays it's easy to get hooked, with our social media, right?
Yeah.
We really focus, zoom in, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook,
YouTube.
Yeah. So, and now the IT people, right? I mean the programmers. So they use this algorithm, right?
Algorithm, yeah.
The algorithm to map out all the links, right? Let's say you just touch, or click on this rappers, let's say, right?
Yeah.
And then it will connect you with all related to the rappers.
Yeah.
So, and then you just flip,
and next thing you know,
we end up, like spend like literally every day at least 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Right. 1 hour. Just, we just flip, 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 flip. So see, we already know how to practice it,
You
but
just
we
become
put it in the
aware.
wrong. Yeah, we don't aware, and we don't put it in a right practice.
Yeah.
So when we're talking about the right mindfulness, is really we should really concentrate on what we're really doing, right? Example, like when you eat your dinner tonight, you need to really focus on your dinner, nothing else, right? And you really try to taste it, that dinner. Maybe your loved one cooked for you or whoever, but you really slow it down, right? So
Yeah.
mindfulness is basically you slow down your thinking process, and you pay completely in the moment by moment, right? Everything, your thoughts, your speech, your action. So they have to be synchronized, right? Because sometimes we think something else in our head, but our speech, we speak something else, and our action is do something, other things. So we are over the place. So the basic thing is we need to zone in one thing at a time, right? So this easy, but it's gonna be take some time, to master it, right?
Yeah, it's a practice. It's a routine.
Yeah. So
that needs to
basically,
be
it's
installed.
get in touch with whatever you do. Get in touch with whatever you think. Get in touch with whatever you're about to say. So that way you be wholeness. You understand?
Yeah.
But if you allow your mind to disperse into 10,000 directions, and your mouth is big, blah 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 blah, and your hand is your action is something else, right? Have you seen those people?
Yeah.
They cooking, but they also do video record.
They're multitasking.
and then they're speaking, and then they're thinking, and then everything is everywhere.
Yeah.
So then they're not as a whole, you see. So wholeness is when your mind and body come together. So that's the lotus, right?
Yeah.
Mind and body come together, it become oneness.
So that's a good point. Can we touch on the lotus? Because I remember you telling me about the lotus. Can we touch on the lotus? Do you got enough time to talk about it?
Yeah, the lotus is basically.
Can you pull up a picture of it? Do you still have that up? Is your oh, there it goes. Yeah, can you just real quick before we go, can you describe the lotus?
The lotus.
It's on your web browser, or it was on your web browser. I think you took it down now.
Okay. So this lotus. Let me show you.
Yeah, that lotus flower, when you had brought that up, that, oh my gosh, in the swastika, it had blew my mind when I seen that swastika. I was like, this is crazy. I did not know that the swastika had originally came from Buddhism, and then they turned it into like something negative, that's crazy. That's so crazy.
Mm-hmm. So
did you find the lotus?
It's just a normal lotus, plants, flowers.
But there was a meaning behind it, right?
This what you're looking for?
Let me see. Yeah, I remember you had described it to me. It was something you had said specifically about it when we were at the temple.
Okay, so the lotus in Buddhism is represent the awakened one. So let me go back to this one. So you see the Buddha, right? Or the Bodhisattva.
Yeah, underneath him is a lotus.
They usually sit on the lotus. The reason is represent the awakened one. The awakened one can can sit or stand on the lotus. You see this one too, right?
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, and you can see this one also sit on the lotus.
Yeah.
Especially the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas, right? And the Bodhisattva, they able to sit on the lotus. So this one also on the lotus. So you can see all the pictures, right? Represent the Buddhas and the Bodhisattva. So even this, right? You can see the big statue. The Buddha sit on the lotus. The Bodhisattvas sit on the lotus. You see?
Yeah.
So this is the lotus that represent the awakened one.
The awakened one. Okay.
Yeah. So it is pure. Their mind completely pure. Their mind is like the lotus.
Got you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
and that's a symbol in Buddhism. Lotus is our symbol.
got you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I remember you telling me about going beyond duality, and I've been actually like applying that to my life. Is I was like, I have to learn how to go beyond duality, go beyond the good or the bad, and understand that in a sense they have to coexist. They have to work together. Like even things that are bad in your life happen so that good things can so good things can happen because it presents change as time prolongs. But if you don't understand that, if you don't emotionally become aware of how these things work out, you become attached to that trauma. And so that has been something that you taught me, and I've been constantly keeping that in the back of my head, because anytime something has happened in life now, I'm like, okay, I remember that the theory is to go beyond duality, not to just sit in that one space of this is good or this is bad, but to be able to enjoy both, be able to enjoy the good situations and the bad. Because when I look at bad situations now, I look at them as an opportunity to become happy and be prepared that change is coming. Something to balance the scale is coming. And even though like the good things are happening, I have to appreciate both. I have to go beyond that duality and say, okay, I'm just happy that it exists in general. So
okay, so to say when you wed with your wife, what's the vows?
to death do us part.
Yeah. So that's like through sickness, right? To happiness,
and health. Yeah.
Yeah, to good health or bad health, you have to go together, right?
Yeah.
But that's go beyond, right? It's not like only when
when you're having a good day.
Yeah, when you see her beautiful and then you love her, but when she's aging and then you say, nope, it's not mine, right? So you fall into the duality. But if you want to practice duality, non-duality, you need to go accept who she is, right? Accept who your children, as they are, right? Because that's, you all in together. So you should accept that and you move forward, keep moving forward. So, so you have to remember the vows. So that way you just, made that promise from your heart, but not from your desire. You see what I'm saying?
That's beautiful. I like it. I love that. I love that theory. So we got like about 6 minutes left. At the end of every episode, what I normally do is the guest who's on my podcast, I have them leave me with two things. One, a book recommendation, and then two, a powerful quote.
Mm-hmm.
So can you do that for me?
The book, I have many books, but let me see if I can see which one that would be good for For you or for the audience?
It could be either one. It doesn't matter.
Oh, okay. I would think if you have time, I would recommend you to read the book Old Path, White Cloud.
Old Path, Wide Cloud, or White Cloud?
Here, let me type it out for you. Old
Okay.
Path, White Cloud. By Ted Nut Hunt.
Let me see.
Okay.
All right, I got it. I'm gonna put it on the screen. All right, and then
and my quote for today is old habits.
old habits.
I think I mentioned this earlier, but I just want to say this again. Old habits won't open new doors.
Old habits won't open new doors. I love it.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
So we need to change. In order for us to change this habit, we need to set our comfort zone. You see what I'm saying? Because we have so many comfort zones as a bubbles, right? Have you seen a bubble wrap?
Yeah.
A bubble wrap, right? In that bubble wrap, see, you can see small bubble, right? Small bubbles around.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen that, right?
Yes.
So those small bubbles, they represent your small comfort zone.
Mm.
Right? So now, in order for us to step out of the old habits, we need to step out of our comfort zone.
You need to pop the bubble.
Not in an extreme way, right? Not that recommend, oh, Tuesday, abandon your family, get rid of your wife,
Yeah.
You know,
Not in an extreme way. Facts.
Yeah, let them go. Let them live their own life, and you become like me. You know, no, that is not that's not what I meant. Okay, so by stepping out of your comfort zone is when your wife is, nagging you all the time. Okay, you take on it. You willing to go into her nagging, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll take it, without, reaction, like that video clip, right?
Yes.
So you can be free, even though, she maybe, have a bad day, right?
Yeah.
She come home and she nagging you, right? And you have to understand, maybe, she had a bad day. And then, okay, I would try to give her my, positive energy to heal her energy.
Yeah.
And then right there, you're already able to step out of your old habit, by reacting to her negative emotion. You see what I'm saying?
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much to everybody who's watching. If you like everything that we talked about, there's plenty of conversations in the future that we're going to have. We're going to bring them back again just so we can connect and build. If you like this episode, if you loved everything that we said, make sure you hit a like, subscribe button, a share with your friends and family. And until next time, peace, love, and light. Big Swim.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
I'm on the way. I'm on the way. My vibration got too damn high. I got stuck in the clouds.